Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. So I've been away for a bit because I've been pretty sick. So obviously on this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for my health, and all I have now to show for it is a sore on my mouth from an infection and a hoarse voice. So I wanted to start a new series because there's been a lot of controversy, bad blood, everything building up in this nation in politics, and one can argue the world for the last couple of years, at the very least, where it's begun to peak. So I wanted to take some time out in the last few hours of Thanksgiving to reflect on what the first Thanksgiving meant. And I don't mean the first Thanksgiving of pilgrims. That actually wasn't the first Thanksgiving. The first Thanksgiving was a proclamation given on October 3rd, 1863, by President Abraham Lincoln. He'd actually gotten the idea from his Secretary of State, in fact, arguably one of the best Secretary of States this nation has ever had, William Henry Seward. As a side note, Seward was one of three people targeted for assassination by John Wilkes Booth's conspiracy, and in fact almost did lose his life. So the point that I want to make with Lincoln's Thanksgiving proclamation, a reminder, and also this hopefully is going to become a series because the truth hurts, and hopefully this Thanksgiving one won't hurt too much. So Lincoln had and Seward had ideas about what Thanksgiving should be and what it shouldn't be. And yes, there was a broad vision that, and if you read it, I'll post a link when I'm done with the video, which has the entire very short proclamation, where it does give thanks to God for the fields that were producing well, for the mines that were shilling out. But as you all know, in 1863, there was a major war on. So Lincoln's Thanksgiving Day proclamation was to be about much more than bounty. In fact, I believe the last few sentences of the main body of his proclamation speak the most true, and I think we can still find some truth in them today. I'd like to read those to you. So shortly after he set aside the last Thursday of November as Thanksgiving, he says, "And I recommend to them that while offering up the ascriptions justly due to him for such singular deliverances and blessings, they do also with humble penitence for our national perverseness and disobedience, commend to his tender care all those who have become widows, orphans, mourners, or sufferers in the lamentable civil strife in which we are unavoidably engaged, and fervently implore the interposition of the Almighty hand to heal the wounds of the nation and to restore it as soon as may be consistent with the divine purposes to the full enjoyment of peace, harmony, tranquility, and union." Enjoyment of peace, harmony, tranquility, and union. That, along with our fallen soldiers, was what the first Thanksgiving was all about. It wasn't about feasting. It wasn't about bounty. It was, in fact, about what we'd lost, what we'd given. There are an unfortunate number of people in this nation, on both sides of the political aisle, who don't want peace. The last thing they're going to push for is harmony. And as far as tranquility and union, forget about it. You can name names, right? They're all over the place. Our news, our media, our president, not just him, our politicians in general, love creating chaos where there should be tranquility, discord where there should be peace, and disunion where there should be unity. As I give thanks on this day of memorial for all those who have served, and especially all those who have given everything to help others in the service of this nation, or even in the service of this people, I want to remember not just our fallen heroes in the branches of our military, but I also want to remember those voices who also spoke in this country about peace, harmony, tranquility, and union, who also gave everything, who also lost their lives, who weren't pushing discord. I want to remember people like Dr. Martin Luther King. I want to remember people like Harvey Milk. And if you don't know him, there'll be a video on him later, hopefully. Harvey Milk, first openly gay politician in this country, was assassinated, and the guy who killed him got off on what's called the Twinkie defense. Look it up. What is important to you? We were, in my generation, taught from a very early age that everyone has an opinion, especially us, and that we have the freedom of speech to vocalize it. And then came the bastardization of that, which is everyone's opinion is correct, at least to some degree, with this push towards postmodernist philosophy, which is even taught in my seminary, good gracious, which teaches the idea that there isn't a truth, that everyone has different truths. Maybe that's another video too. I've been watching probably over 100 hours of videos in the last several months. I've experienced things on campus, a seminary, which you'd think would be all about peace, harmony, tranquility, and union. And I've been hearing stories about my friends, both sides of the political aisle. And I'm not scared. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about where our priorities are. I'm concerned that when we sit down for Thanksgiving, we are too concerned with that which we have in front of us, and not that which is behind us or in front of us. Those things which we have lost, or that others have lost to get us here, and those things which must be lost to progress us. And let us not fool ourselves. Progress to the future doesn't always mean a positive direction. And I think if any one of you were to seriously take a look at what's going on in this country and think that we're progressing in a positive direction, well, I think there's a conversation to be had there, because I'd really like to understand your perspective. I'm glad that there's two politicians here and other people of various ages and political opinions. In fact, in the 5 of you who are here, there's 5 different viewpoints, and I appreciate that. But as I continue this series, I want you to understand you're not going to like everything that you hear, because the truth hurts. The truth hurts about things that maybe we hold dear because someone pushed it on us. The truth hurts about the gender identity question. The truth hurts about the true state of the Republican Party, which I was a part of, and the true state of the Democrat Party, which I also was a part of before that. And yes, the true state of the Libertarian Party, which It's all very sad. The true state about Black Lives Matter, the state about our media, the state about our presidency, one of the highest honors in this world that a person can achieve, and how that person got there. And it's not simple. The enemies are at the gates, and they're not necessarily from ISIS or Russia. They're right next door. They're us to some degree, aren't they? It's every time we look at someone who has a differing opinion, even if it's one that we know is extremely wrong. I am the son of homosexuals. I have seen the Klan come after bearing that Confederate flag, and I'm probably one of the few people who on my campus, one of two I can think of, who actually supported someone having it as a bumper sticker. All right. My perspectives are not going to be popular. They're not meant to be. They're not meant to be offensive, although I can see where you might find them as such. I'm going to challenge you. You should be challenged. I should be challenged. I began my life as a liberal communist who believed and loved the idea of violent civil strife. I had a poster of Che Guevara, and yeah, I knew about the things that he did. I wasn't one of the ignorant ones. Then I grew up. And I don't mean maturity. I became a Republican leader next. Clearly, I didn't mean maturity. But I started learning, and the learning process hasn't ended, thank God. Hopefully, it won't end until the day that I stop breathing. Hopefully, you will be able to say the same. We've become too comfortable with discord. I dare say that we've become thankful for it. I think too many of us love the idea of division because it lifts us up. For all those who cry out against individualism, this diversification, the weird thing that's happening there psychologically, and if I may, just for a moment, this is a video in and of itself. But when you look at me, when you look in the mirror, I mean, if you could just do this for me, when you're going to bed tonight and you're doing your last I'm thankful for, I want you to go through the list of the things you are and be thankful for every last one of them. For instance, the list for me might sound something like, I'm thankful for my multiple college degrees. I'm thankful for having had 2 lesbians as parents. I'm thankful for being artificially inseminated and knowing what that feels like and the stigma attached to it. I'm thankful for the lackluster relationship I have with my sibling, for it's taught me things. I'm thankful for my libertarian political views, which were born from a Republican Party seat that I won and history with the Democrat Party before that. I'm thankful for my brand of Christianity, which is probably more of a deistic Christianity. I'm thankful for my bringing up in the Freemasonic way of life. I'm thankful for the Constitution that I live under. I'm thankful for my legalist perspective. I'm thankful for my openness, and I'm thankful for those things I'm not open to either. The list goes on. I'm thankful for being lower middle class, and because of my Teutonic heritage. What would yours sound like? What are your adjective and descriptor thankfulnesses? I ask because the divisions that try to guide us on both sides would love to take one or two of those and break them away from the rest and call this the pillar. When you look at things that push a specific life matters slogan, I'm not going to be one of the extremists that says, well, all lives matter. I believe in the death penalty. I don't inherently believe all lives matter. But my point with that is that when you have something like Black Lives Matter, or add anything, Blue Lives Matter, whatever, the minute you've done that, you've taken one thing and you've pulled it out of the mix that people actually are. Whenever we say Black or African American or Caucasian American or Native American, these don't mean anything. And they really don't. How many people do you know, and intimately know, can truly be broken down by a slogan? If you compared me to any other amount of sons of homosexuals, where do I stack up? It's not that I don't like being part of groups. People love being part of groups. It's part of the evolutionary psychology of the human animal. We're social critters. We love herds. We love packs. So we love groups. But at what expense? As a capitalist, I do believe in the individual. But what we're seeing with this diversification movement, it's trying to say it's not individualistic, but that's exactly what it is, and it's taking it to the dangerous individualistic degree that they're claiming that people like me are trying to push. For instance, we're told that being an individualist means that you are yourself above all others. Oh, because police brutality never killed Hispanics. Police brutality never killed white people. Police brutality didn't help the gay man that was beaten right in front of police officers out front of the gay bar, right? My point is that don't be fooled with this diversification movement. Be thankful for everything that you are. And don't give that up. Don't allow other people to take that from you. So, a lot of you are new to the video. I do recommend you listen to the beginning. There's a cool bit about the Thanksgiving Day proclamation. And just in lieu of closing this video now, I want to remind you once again what the first Thanksgiving was about. And I don't mean all that dumb stuff about pilgrims. What I mean is October 3rd, 1863. Abraham Lincoln. And I recommend to them that while offering up the ascriptions justly due to him for such singular deliverances and blessings, they do also with humble penitence for our national perverseness and disobedience commend to his tender care all those who have become widows, orphans, mourners, or sufferers in the lamentable civil strife in which we are unavoidably engaged, and fervently implore the interposition of the Almighty hand to heal the wounds of the nation and to restore it as soon as may be consistent with the divine purposes to the full enjoyment of peace, harmony, tranquility, and union. In testimony whereof I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the United States to be affixed, done at the city of Washington, this 3rd day of October, in the year of our Lord 1863, and the independence of the United States, the 88th, by the President Abraham Lincoln. Tranquility, peace, harmony, union. Don't let them take it from you. The truth hurts. Tonight's truth probably not as much as the future videos will. Stay tuned. I can't promise consistency, but I'm thankful that all of you came to watch tonight. Happy Thanksgiving. And please, once again, remember Lincoln and what that first Thanksgiving was supposed to be about. A thankfulness for those who had died, of thankfulness for that which had been given to get us here. And for the love of God, be thankful for all the diversities that make you up. And don't allow some slogan, person, or movement to tell you that one of those diversities is greater than another. Because if you removed any one of them, you would no longer be who you are. I'll post down below the entire transcript of that Lincoln Thanksgiving Day proclamation. Again,